You can do a lot of stuff, okay, people? You can do a lot of stuff, but leave the kids alone. You start fucking with the kids, you ain't gonna have nobody on your side, okay? Not saying they did it, because nothing has been proven yet, but it ain't looking good. We're gonna talk about Tiffany Haddish. Have you heard about this? Oh, okay. You're in.
What did she do now?
You're in for a treat, my friend.
God.
All right. So Tiffany Haddish, if you don't know, she's an actress. I think of that. She was in that Nicolas Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, or whatever.
Yeah.
She's been in other. What is she best known for? I keep brain farting.
Girls Trip, I think, is her most known, but she's known for a lot of shit. She's in a lot of crap.
Well,
she's Tyler Perry stuff too.
Primarily a comedian, I guess. Is it safe to say she's a comedian?
Yeah.
All right. Well, she did something that wasn't so funny. Just to give you a quick little, we're going to talk about the aftermath of this thing that happened. Well, she was involved in, rather. Back in 2018, I believe it was. She was involved in a short. She and, what is his name? Aries Spears? You familiar with him?
Yeah, comedian.
I'm familiar with the name. I don't, right offhand, don't know exactly what all he's been in, but he put together a short that was about, let's just put it out there, pedophilia. It was supposed to be funny. From what they're saying, I'm going off of what's been stated. It was supposed to be a joke, a funny thing. I'm talking about something, I've not seen it, but I've heard about it. Talking about, watch who you leave your kids with, stuff like that. They commissioned 2 kids to be in it. Now, once again, I've not seen this. I've only heard about it, and I can only speak to what I've read and heard. It apparently involved, it was a little boy and a little girl. The little boy, I don't know his age, and we don't know their names either, which is understandable, even with the thing that happened afterwards, was in his underwear, and you had, I think it was Aries Spears, like looking through a newspaper with holes cut out, watching the little boy, and then something like the camera was zooming in on his butt and stuff like that, just weird shit like that. And there's a point where somebody's rubbing baby oil on somebody's shoulders, stuff that not okay stuff. In what world do you think this is okay? The things that I heard about that were in this thing, I was like, who thought this was a good idea? Well, she was involved in this, and apparently the mother of the 2 children, Tiffany Haddish, knew, and that's where she got the kids. It was called Through a Pedophile's Eyes, and it was posted and removed, user-generated content section of funnyordie.com. And I guess it just nothing happened after that. And now, a case is being filed by the daughter, who is now older, I guess. She is filing a case on the mother's behalf and for her younger brother. I guess the daughter, the girl was older. But that's where these kids came from. Is their mother knew Tiffany Haddish, and she left them with her. And they're claiming that while they were there, they were told they were like, we feel uncomfortable with this. Oh, if you want to make it in the business, this is what you got to do. And not cool stuff. And the mother saying she was unaware of this. You left your fucking kids with them. But I would get it if you knew, if Tiffany Haddish is a close personal friend, you probably feel safe. Whatever. That's what's being claimed happened. I wasn't there. I don't know. I only report this shit. All right, so now I'm going to throw you a little bit of information that I will read to you, that what's going on with this situation now. Tiffany Haddish said, I know people have a bunch of questions. I get it. Really. I'm right there with you. Unfortunately, because there is an ongoing legal case, there's very little that I can say right now. But clearly, while the sketch was intended to be comedic, it wasn't funny at all. And I deeply regret having agreed to act in it. I really look forward to being able to share a lot more about this situation as soon as I can. There's more, but I think Nick's sentiment right here is, like I said, we're lining up. I think we're in the same place here. Moving forward, as I said, it was Through a Pedophile's Eyes. I don't know if it's still available online. I guess nothing ever totally goes away. I had no desire to see this. The description was enough for me. It's posted in 2018 on funnyordie.com. It's taken down shortly thereafter. A pending lawsuit was filed by an anonymous Jane Doe earlier this month on behalf of herself and her younger brother, accusing Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish of intentional infliction of emotional distress, gross negligence, sexual battery, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse of a minor. The plaintiff said, "As an adult, I have the power to protect my little brother now, and I have the power to do something about what happened to him. And that's what my goal is to get done. Just to show my little brother that, hey, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to protect you and be there for you then, but this is how I'm showing up for you now." I'm assuming that it's the sister that was there as well, and I think that the sister is now in law. I don't really know, but moving on. Haddish's legal team responded. And they said, yeah, and they said, the plaintiff's mother has been trying to assert these bogus claims against Miss Haddish for several years. Every attorney who was initially taken on her case, and there were several, ultimately dropped the matter once it became clear that the claims were meritless, and Miss Haddish would not be shaken down. Now, the mother has her adult daughter representing herself in this lawsuit. The two of them will together face the consequences of pursuing this frivolous action. So, cheery story. Nick. Now, once again, nothing has been proved here, but these are some heavy allegations. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm going to say that this is... You can do a lot of stuff, okay, people? You can do a lot of stuff, but leave the kids alone. You start fucking with the kids, you ain't gonna have nobody on your side, okay? I'm not saying they did it, because nothing has been proven yet, but it ain't looking good. These are some hefty claims. And I don't know how, all of this stuff, as I said, I'm reading it. I do not know the validity of any of this. For all I know, the mother, the brother, and the sister and all that, they're all full of shit, and they're just trying to get it paid. For all I know, Haddish and Spears are fucking grooming kids. I don't know. I can only tell you what is put out there for us to know. But based on all of that, because now that you have the same information that I do, and also I've heard things about these two people, once again, just heard things, that maybe they're not the best people in the world. What do you think, Nick? What's your take on this?
You know how all the time I bagged on Ezra Miller in the Flash, and I was never going to see the Flash. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe maybe I'll go see the Flash now.
He just had babies gargling bullets. That's it.
Yeah. No. We were talking earlier about the Power of the Ring stuff, or the Rings of Power, and how the world of the internet has changed things. The stuff that comes out now about celebrities, it makes you realize that being like the world of Hollywood is as bad as you've heard. And like you said, until proven guilty, you can't really say if this is true or not. But if this is true, man,
I can say
where's
that
that
it's
picture?
fucked
Where's
up and it ain't looking good.
Oh my god, it's I just can't. I don't get it. I don't get how you have.
I'm with you. What do you say to this?
I can't say anything because it just doesn't. There's as somebody who says stupid shit a lot of times and isn't the most perfect person, I can't understand why people think they can get away with this nonsense. And if it's true, what is it?
I'll tell you what, I can say this much, and this is not just me talking shit. People could say I'm inciting violence. I don't really give a fuck. As a parent of many children, I can say that if something like this actually did happen, and I knew it for a fact, it wasn't an allegation, I was believing someone, I was involved, I knew this person did this to my child, there wouldn't be no lawsuit. I'd fucking kill you. I would fucking kill you. You can, maybe I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube. I don't know. I would I guarantee you, if anyone ever did anything like that to one of my kids, I'm not going to come after you with the law. No. We're going to get some old justice. And that's exactly how it would go down. Now, I'm not saying that this mother and sister and all that are wrong for the direction they're taking. I can only speak for myself. I just know that I would go into a blind rage, and I would wake up, and there'd be lots of blood, and somebody wouldn't be with us anymore. Because fuck that, man. Why are you fucking with the kids? I mean, you shouldn't fuck with anybody. Let's be real. This kind of shit you don't do to anybody. But leave fucking kids alone, man. What the fuck? And if they are doing this shit, once again, like you said, like I said, I can't substantiate any of it. I can only go off of what I'm reading. And there's been plenty of claims about people thrown out there in the world in the past few years that could or could not be true. I mean, the whole Johnny Depp, Amber Heard thing, you know, we see that things are not always as they seem. Regardless of what way you think that went, I think everybody can admit with that trial, things weren't as they were initially put out there. I'm not saying he was right or she was wrong or any of that, but it wasn't what we initially saw. There was a lot more nuance to it. With something like this, there's no nuance when it comes to fucking around with kids and doing this kind of shit. And if they even did this in the slightest, and the thing that really gets me about it, and that makes me lend a bit of validity to it, and I'm not trying to throw fuel on this fire, and I'm not telling people, oh, it's true, it's true. No, I'm still saying I have no idea. Is Tiffany Haddish's response. I know you got questions and all that, I do blah, 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 all that shit, fine. And even her saying I can't talk about it. It's in court, I get that. You're not supposed to talk about shit like that. And her publicist probably like, don't say shit. It's the part where she says, because I'm going off of the description I had of this short, this Funny or Die short. Or it wasn't Funny or Die, I don't want to put their name in it. It was put on Funny or Die. The short that they made. Some of the things, even if they were being drummed up, the fact of the matter, there was a kid in his underwear and some dude checking him out and there's rubbing baby oil on people. These things happened. I don't give a fuck what the context is. And I understand comedy is supposed to offend and shock. This is a different level. And you're doing this with a real child. I mean, it's not like an adult dressed as a child like they used to do on The Living Color and stuff like that. You know, I loved In Living Color, but they'd always have like, it showed like a classroom. It was always adults acting like kids. That kind of thing. That you can get away with something in an environment like you can talk about these things and even have them be funny, even though it's not funny subjects. But you know what I mean. But you can't actually use real fucking kids. That's not okay, especially when you're doing the thing to them in real life that you're sitting here talking about in this short. But she said, where was it? Clearly, while this sketch was intended to be comedic, it wasn't funny at all, and I deeply regret having acted in it. So she's pretty much saying at the time I thought it was funny. I mean, if you didn't think it was funny, if you knew then, man, there's something wrong with this, you would have walked the fuck away. I don't think you needed this internet short on your resume. I mean, you're fucking Tiffany Haddish. And you were then too in 2018. You did not need this. So at some point you should have been, even if you did need it, I mean, that's not an excuse, but at some point you would have been like, okay, this isn't cool. I'm not cool with this. You thought it was funny then. So that does lead me to believe, you know, maybe there is at least some merit to this. I don't know. Things are nuanced. But this is fucked up all around, man. What do you think's going to happen here?
Nothing, because nothing happens in Hollywood.
You don't think they'll be like canceled or something like that?
Oh, they'll probably be canceled for 3 months and then like, oh, we forgive you.
Forgive you for fucking with the kids. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's not saying that it does, you know, it throws out sexual battery, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse. It's not saying they like molested the kids or anything. But that's not a positive to the situation. I mean, they still did things that traumatized this young kid. I mean, sitting there like having them in their underwear with all these cameras and people around them and acting like pedophiles and doing weird shit. That fucks with kids, man. Stop fucking with the kids. Leave the fucking kids alone. God damn. Get the fuck out of here. Oh,
you need to watch The Simpsons. Will somebody please think of the children?
Yeah, think of the children. Jesus. But anyway, there's not really a lot more to say about this. No, this is not cool, man. This is not cool. I'm not going to sit there and follow this thing beat for beat, but I am curious to know what direction it goes. I want to see what proof they come up with, what happens to these people, because if they are fucking with kids, they need to get the fuck out. Something legal. I mean, they are taking legal action. I'm curious as to what happens then if they're found guilty of this stuff. I mean, is this a criminal like case at that point, or is this, because it's a lawsuit right now? Lawsuits are, I guess you could have criminal lawsuits. I don't know my law enough. I know that typically lawsuits are more, oh, we want, reparations for whatever was done to us. But these are criminal charges. I mean, if someone is found guilty of gross negligence, sexual battery, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse of a minor, I feel like at what point does the actual law get involved and say, hey, come over here, let's talk for a minute. You were found guilty of this. We need to talk about it. So I don't know, but we'll find out. I'll keep my ear to the ground. I don't think we're going to find out anytime soon. I mean, they're rich. They will be able to keep this out of court for a while. But eventually, if it's there already, it will go. Or maybe it might disappear. We might find out. And I apologize. If we find out, oh, they were all full of shit, they're just trying to get money, then that's bad on their behalf. Because they're still, if this is these people just trying to exploit these rich people to get money, that is still them exploiting this child, because the child, the little boy, is the main victim here, using him to get money about this situation. So that's still abuse, in my opinion. Leave the fucking kids alone all around. That's all I gotta say. Let us know what you thought of this. What you think? Do you think that they did this? Do you think that they didn't? Do you think it's just the plaintiff trying to get money? What's going on here? Let us know in the comments below.